I moved back home, back to my parents' house, and then was just like, I do not know what to do now. I've got zero. We went from like, you know, big revenue to like absolutely zero.
If you're a media buyer, creative strategist, or a brand owner and you haven't tried foreplay, you're missing out. And no, we're not talking about that kind of foreplay. Foreplay lets you save Facebook ads and TikTok ads in a super easy to use board forever. So if you've ever sent a client or a team member or just a mate an ad link from the ad library and you click the link and it disappeared, then this is for you. So a few reasons why I actually use this myself and love it. First reason is discovery. The discovery tool is actually genuinely better than the Facebook ads library and the TikTok ad library native platforms. You can search by keywords or even search by brand or industries. And when you save those ads, you can actually download MP4 files of them. So for example, if you're creating a lot of presentations and examples in your day-to-day work, then this makes that a shitload easier. And as well as that, you can actually save all the ads into super easy to use and navigate boards. So you can organize things however you like. For example, myself, I organize brand ideas I've got, so things I'm seeing from other brands. If you ran an agency, for example, you could do ideas for clients, you could send things to clients, you could have ideas with your team, however you like. Super easy to use and super intuitive. So if you're curious about how you can use foreplay and start getting into your day-to-day life and business, like you should be, because I genuinely have been using it for the past 6 months, and it's one of maybe 2 or 3 tools that me and the team actually rely on to scale Space Goods to the moon and every brand that you're working on, then you should click the link in the bio to sign up to a trial. And you can sign up to a 1-week free trial, and if you love it, which I think you will, because I do, and loads of my mates and colleagues and team members use it as well, then you can sign up for 15% off the first 3 months with the code MIDNIGHT. Cheers. Right, we're back with episode 70 of the Midnight Pod. It feels fucking weird because I'm doing it in the new flat and it's not the right setup. I was just saying to our guest Henry, which I'll introduce in a second, the first episode ever in the flat, I did 67 episodes literally over the road. We're about 20 meters from where I used to sit, but it feels very, very, very foreign. We obviously brought the pod to a proper studio for like the past month, and I had mixed reviews because some people said, oh, it's sick doing it in the studio, upgrading, but then I felt like it lost the authenticity of the pod, which was just like raw and genuinely involved red wine, although it doesn't tonight because it's a Tuesday and I'm trying to drink less. And now I brought it back here to see what the vibes are, but it's the first one I've done, so I feel like it's September 2021 again. But with that said, we have the first, I guess, like you were just saying, like physical retail-esque, I would still say like brand. What is a brand?
Non-e-commerce focused.
Yeah, pan and ice, which I guess, how would you describe it in your own words? This also feels really far away, by the way, because I'm used to sitting like next to my guest.
My eyes aren't very good either, so you're off the blur, but we're like so we started off as like a physical events business. So we started off doing like festival scene, like all the major festivals around the UK, and then we went into like ice cream parlors. So your traditional where you go up, get an ice cream made, and eat it. We got those in like Westfield, Selfridges, Arndale. We've been in Bicester. We've had loads of locations, and now we're kind of like, we've got like a holding company which is Pan and Ice, which is like the main brand, and then underneath that we've got all these different trading entities, kind of like split the brand up. I was just telling you earlier, I get quite like, I've got a very short attention span, so I like starting things and then like getting teams to like carry them through, but then I just jump on something new. So now we've got like the retail side, the e-commerce side, which I launched because of COVID. So that's like at-home ice cream machines, and the event side still going.
But it's a roll. How would you describe it? A rolling ice cream company.
Yeah, it's rolled ice cream. So it's like you got a cold pan, and then you pour in your mix and you roll it up, and it originates from Thailand.
Yeah, because you asked me had I ever had it, and I haven't in London, and I'm gonna have to try now, but I definitely have in Thailand.
Yeah. Like, so that's where we saw it. Me and my ex-business partner, we were literally in Koh Phi Phi and drunk one night, and we just saw it and was like, what's that? This is back in 2015, so like back then no one knew what this thing was, and we thought it was pancakes, and we were like, what is that? Let's bring it back to the UK. And I kid you not, the next day I dropped out of uni and started it. Oh, what's going on here?
We also have Tokyo, who's fucking humping our guest as almost always. He literally does this to every guest. We might have to remove him.
Oh wow, all right. Tokyo, calm down, boy.
He does about 20 minutes of crazy shit. I have to cut it out usually, and then he fucking just chills out and he'll be asleep on you in about 20 minutes.
But so I found it in Koh Phi Phi, and then I was on the beach the next day, dropped out of uni, and that's how Pan and I started.
So prior to that, what were you doing at uni? Like, was this ever even potentially what you're going to do, or is it just completely you just fell in love with the idea and actually just dived in headfirst?
Yeah,
it seems kind of random.
No, it is super random, especially because I was doing mechanical engineering at uni.
Yeah.
So my plan was, I think, pretty vague plan was to go work in something like Formula One, because I loved working with like engines or like racing. Like I've always enjoyed motocross, watching Formula One. So my plan was to kind of like go do that. Hence why I went to uni and did mechanical engineering. But yeah, I quickly realised that uni was not right for me. I love the social side. I love like the going outside, but the actual academic side was just a joke. Like it was like maths exams every week. The people that was around were just not inspiring me. And I was at that time, I started reading a lot of books or like watching a lot of like YouTube episodes on like entrepreneurs, and I very quickly realised like this is not what I want to do. And then I went travelling around Thailand and saw Pan and Ice, so it kind of like all worked out quite well. Gave me a reason.
How
to
far
like,
into uni were you when you went travelling and saw that?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a normal course.
Years.
I was doing a 5-year course.
Shit.
So yeah, I mean mech eng just pretty full on. So I was doing a 5-year course. So it wasn't like I was literally just about to finish. It was I only just started pretty much. So yeah, I was quick to leave.
Was that in Thailand with your co-founder?
Yeah.
And you both just dropped out?
No, he stayed on because he had a 3-year course. So he stayed on, finished off. And then I basically, for that year, I ran the physical side of the business, and then he joined me after uni.
How did you start a business like that? What did it look like financially? Like from dropping out, did you ever think you'll stay, get it going?
I mean, yeah, bear in mind I was 20 at this point. I had no idea how to run a business. I was naive as ever, as I think is a good thing when starting a business. We basically dropped out. The next step was, whilst in Thailand, we were like, right, how are we going to like physically do this? We were like, we want to go make ice cream. Where are we going to do it in the UK? So first thought was, right, let's do some events like festivals, or whatever events we could basically do. So the rest of the trip was spent finding big events in the UK. Most of them turned us down because we literally did not know. We weren't a business, we were just an idea. So they were like, let's see your stand, and we had nothing, but we've managed to get some crappy little events. And the next step was like, right, let's buy a tent, like a gazebo to do this thing in. Let's buy a machine. We didn't know what the machine was, so I spent like weeks trying to find out what this thing was that they were making this ice cream on. Eventually found it on Alibaba, bought this machine. The machine ended up arriving the day before our first event that summer, like a couple of months later. So
you hadn't actually figured out how to make
no, we had no clue how to do anything. The machine arrived. So we came back from Thailand end of June or beginning of July. Our first event was booked for mid-September. The machines arrived from China the day before that first event. And our first event was called the Alresford County Show. It's some like random country show. So we stayed up all night in my warehouse just like learning how to make this ice cream. So we had no idea. All we had to go by was our videos that we took in Thailand. Yeah. So we were just up all night, and it was absolute shambles. Like we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We rocked up to this first event, and like it was like the pictures now just look so funny. We had like 100 different flavors to choose from. We had like 10 different types of granola. Like we just like it was just so funny how we did it. But yeah, we were naive, which I think is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started it.
Yeah. And how did it go down?
How's it going now? Yeah.
But how did it go down then?
How did it go down then? It was rammed. Like literally, I think the time we started was perfect because it started going viral on social just at that point. I think I'm like chewing through my jacket.
I'm about to get rid of him. He goes absolutely crazy when he can smell someone's dog.
You love my jacket. Yeah, it started when we started in September. It had just begun to go viral on social media, like these Thai people doing it. The videos were going viral, so people like did know about it then. So when they saw that they could have it in the UK, it was crazy. Like the queues on our first couple of events. Honestly, I think people waited like an hour to like get an ice cream. That's probably partly because we were really bad at making it and taking like 10 minutes each ice cream, but also just because people like were shocked that it was in the UK. And yeah, I think our first like couple summers, mate, it was just a joke. The amount of cash that was made, like it was just money on tap because we didn't have to do any marketing.
Do you think it was actually the first in the UK? Like literally?
We were, Actually, I think we potentially might have been just second. There was another company that closed down very quickly after we started. I think they just got before us in London. I can't remember what they were called. But we're basically, I say basically the first in the UK, because they pretty much closed down a few months after that.
Yeah.
And then what we've noticed is loads of companies do come up now, copy us, but they seem to have like a 6-month lifespan and then realise it's a really fucking hard business to run and then close down.
How much did it cost to start a business like that?
We both invested, I think it was like 5k each. So that was like basically family money. I'd saved up money from previous jobs I had. I used to be like a promoter, so I saved up loads of money in my bank. I put that in, so it was like $5,000 each. I mean, the machine was like a couple grand, gazebo's like $1,000, and then basically it was just cash generative from day one. Though there was no nothing else we needed to buy. We were just doing it ourselves. We didn't have to pay any staff. Our mates got involved. So yeah, we were constantly just pumping the cash straight back into the business to grow organically. And that's kind of been the way I've ran it from most of the business's life. Yeah. Apart from up until like COVID, I would say.
And are you generating revenue is it purely events? Is that just in summer? Like, how is it year round if you're full time on it and it's like heavy events?
Yeah, so events is... Well, back then the events was just purely summer because we were just doing ice cream. Now if you look at our events business, we're like a 360 events company. So we don't just do ice cream, we basically want to do the whole event. So whether that's cocktail bars, any F&B, highest event spaces, literally anything to do with events, we basically manage now. So it means it's all year round for us. So our events business is literally, non-stop, and it's all international now as well. We do loads of stuff in America, we do Coachella, US Open, we do stuff with Formula One, we do the event side of the business for me is a mass. It does really well performance-wise, cash-wise, but as a actual enjoyment piece of the business, it's probably my favourite part. Yeah. Because it means I can travel around the world with friends, with amazing work colleagues, and have fun whilst getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that bit. This summer we're going to do some crazy events, I already know. So I'm pretty looking forward to it.
Do I need to get rid of this dog? He's just going to rip through your fucking coat. He does this to literally...
What is it with the coat?
Does it to every guest, no matter who they are.
What, the sleeve?
It's always the sleeve.
What's it with the sleeve?
He's fully going for it.
Mate.
In about 10 minutes he'll be asleep on you.
Oh, there we go.
I just don't trust this dog. He's such a crook. He's always been my co-host.
I love it, mate. Why is he never with you?
He never sits on me during episodes.
Oh, right.
Only ever guests.
Fair.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. So 8 years, how, I guess just a whistle-stop tour, how has that grown since then? It was obviously fucking two of you. Tiny investment relatively compared to some stuff. You mentioned there's 100 staff now.
So yeah,
how did that progress? You can give a very long answer, but from then to how it is now.
Yeah, so we kind of started it as very organic, just me, my ex-business partner, and our friends kind of doing these events. Early stages though, we suddenly grew so quickly because back then it was a massive hype. So, and we were naive, we were saying yes to absolutely everything. So within a few summers, I think we had grown to 10 locations across the UK. And that's when we had over 100 staff, not all full time, but we literally had over 100 staff on our books. It was absolute chaos. We grew way too quickly back then. Just saying yes to everything, thinking we were God's gift and could do everything and it was easy. Quickly realised that was not the case. And then, we were nationwide in Topshop. We did Topshop Circus, we did Topshop in New York.
How's that work? Ice cream rolls in the store?
Yeah, so they were doing these things in store to bring in, change the experience within the stores. So they brought us in there. So we did the Oxford Street one, and then they asked us to do New York. So we did Fifth Avenue, Soho. At the same time, we were doing nationwide in Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, Bicester, Westfield. We literally had 12 locations at one point, and bearing in mind there's a team of staff at each of those locations, it was nuts. So yeah, we went through that classic phase of being naive, growing really quickly, realizing that's not the best idea, and then kind of cut out, then cut forward to COVID. Obviously then COVID comes completely. Up until COVID, we were a physical business, so we had like shops and the events business, so that completely fucked us, like completely closed down, pretty much temporarily shut the whole business.
COVID was actually so fucked, you think about it in hindsight.
May was
cataclysmic event.
Yeah, actually crazy. So just before that, me and my ex-business partner, like separated ways, so kind of we went through that, and then straight after that,
difference of opinion or what?
Straight, we might have to cut this bit out.
Yeah,
maybe.
Was it complicated?
Yeah. No, we're just legally not allowed to technically talk about it, but just
what did happen then?
No, nothing happened. It was just difference of opinions. I suppose when you start up a company with someone who's, so me and my ex-business partner were best mates.
Yeah.
We went to Thailand as best mates, literally on a holiday. We started this thing, started together. We'd been doing it for 5 years up until the point we separated ways. So like you quickly realize you go from best friends to being business partners, and being business partners and like living this thing with each other is extremely taxing. Like the emotional roller coasters you go through, the highs and the lows, like it's a lot, and I think it changes the dynamic completely. And I think it was fine up until that point, but then I think we realised it wasn't working. Like changing, like difference in opinions of like what we should be doing, just general bickering, wasting time on silly things that we shouldn't be doing. So I think we realised it was probably best if we separated ways.
Yeah.
But that was a very long, drawn out process, not a nice process by any means. And then straight after that happened, I literally then had to go straight into COVID, like straight into lockdown, where I had to get rid of all of my team, which at that point I had a big team, and it was then just literally me on my own. So it was like, it was that part of the business was so weird for me. It was like horrible. I literally thought that was the end of Pan and Ice. I remember I moved back home, back to my parents' house, and then was just like, I do not know what to do now. I've got zero. We went from like, big revenue to like absolutely zero.
What did you do?
I just sat at home, and I was thinking like, what can we do? Like, we've got an amazing brand here. Like at this point we had over 1 million followers on like social media. So like our Instagram and TikTok following were absolutely huge. So I was thinking, what can we do? We've got an amazing brand. How can I basically pivot that brand into something that doesn't involve physical life? So I thought, let's launch these like at-home ice cream making kits, because at that point at-home stuff was going mad. Like all the restaurants were doing at-home making kit, like burger making kits or whatever. So I thought, how can I replicate that? I basically launched these DIY kits, which is basically a metal like tray, like I think of it like an oven dish, a special one with a special liquid underneath that you put in your freezer, and then you can make our product at home. So I launched that, kind of did it all myself. I got a friend of mine who's a graphic designer called Milo. He like did the original drawings, the packaging design, super simple. And I built a Shopify store. Got like, I don't know what my first order was, like 500 of these kits, I think, quite a small number. Got them to the UK, and then sold them. It was a really slow start because I'd never done e-commerce before. But then there was like I don't actually know what the changing moment was. I think I gifted it to someone, and suddenly like these things just like sold out within days. Like it literally went absolutely crazy. I think it was the period leading up to Christmas. Like literally they went nuts. So I quickly made another order of like thousands at this time, like 5,000 was the next order. Again, which was just crazy. And this was when Facebook ads, ROAS was just a joke. So
who was running that? You or an agency?
So originally it was just me. So I kind of self-taught myself how to do everything off YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like just like the bare bones and basics of it. But then it got to the point where I couldn't do everything myself. So I got back my like marketing / social media manager. He came back to help me out of COVID to kind of help deal with this. And then I very quickly kind of started bringing back a team and getting agencies on board. But as I said, like looking at Facebook ads in particular, it was literally so easy back then. I think I took it for granted. Like,
it was a gold rush in hindsight.
I think that was like 50p per acquisition or something stupid. Like I was just, it's always annoying because you then think that's the norm because that was the only thing I'd ever experienced. Then when you come out of that period and you're like paying like £9 for conversion, it's like, what's this?
That's how I feel. I started running ads in 2016.
Yeah.
It was so much cheaper.
God, yeah.
Yeah, different world now.
Yeah, so...
Quick one, fellas. You probably heard a few months ago I dropped an ecom course, a very fucking guru of me, but it's not that. I promise you, 0 to 1, how to start a brand from scratch with no budget, some budget, a bit of budget. Take your idea from a bedroom to reality to potentially 7-8 figures in sales, like I've done a few times, based on my 7 years of experience in the trenches and my current experience building my current brand, Space Goods. It's no bullshit, no frills. We've had like 75 people go through so far. Not a single person has asked for a refund. Plenty of people have actually built some seriously impressive shit. Covers every aspect of the business. Not just the front end stuff like most gurus on YouTube and Twitter are talking about, not just product, marketing, all that shit, but the real shit, the logistics, the back end, the supply chain, the customer service, the finances as well. This covers the whole spectrum, every part, 12 hours of video. If you're interested in scaling a brand 0 to 1, actually turning your idea finally into a reality, then click the link below, go check out Learn Real Commerce course and let me know what you think. I'd be glad to have you in there. Let's fucking go. The whole business moved.
Yeah.
Was that, in scale wise, was that like similar or bigger than what it was before? How did that look?
So yeah, I mean, in terms of revenue and like scale, I mean, the scalability of that business is definitely, in terms of scalability, it's the best part of the business. It's very quickly though become, I think in terms of revenue, it's probably equaling the other parts of the business now. Yeah. It is a very interesting, it's been very seasonal. We thought we would launch this and it'd be a summertime product. Like people make ice cream or eat ice cream in the summer. But that wasn't the case. We've learned like it's more of a Christmas product. So that's the one thing we're trying to work with at the moment. Like how do we get this part of the business to become all year round? Because it should be a summer thing. Yeah. Like we know it works well in Christmas because it's a gifting thing. We're now thinking like, why isn't this working in summer? There's a few reasons for that. We think like it's to do with like, it's at the moment we're too expensive. So like we're more of a Christmas gift item. We want to be something that people can like impulse purchase on Amazon or any time of the year. But yeah, that part of the business is what I love about that part of the business is it's such a small team. Like it's so easily like controllable. You don't need all these people like in different roles managing it. Yeah. Like you just need a few very smart people, and they can control that whole part for you, which I really like. So that's something I'm really trying to focus on at the moment. Is like how can we scale that? We're looking at launching like a few new products in the next couple months. I've just launched a new product actually. It's like an electric version, it's like an actual ice cream machine, which costs like it's more expensive, but it's like a physical professional machine. So yeah, I'm always looking at like, you know, NPD, trying to get new products on the line, and yeah, that's where the scalability of Pan and Ice is going to come, because like as a brand we've got over 1.3 million followers on TikTok, like 260k I think on Instagram, but actually no, I've not been on it recently. So we've got an amazing following. So like we just need to pivot that now and like into this.
Where does most of the revenue come from then, like source wise? Like is it TikTok or is it paid ads? Or I've never cracked TikTok.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not TikTok. We tried TikTok, it was a complete flop. As soon as you try to push anything on there, some people say it's amazing, and like we get agencies going, guys, you need to do TikTok, it's literally the game changer. And I've had so many people tell me that, and every time we tried it, it's just not worked. So we kind of keep TikTok as just a pure like entertainment piece where we're just like putting out fun content. Yeah. And then mainly for us, it's mainly like Facebook ads. Yeah, same. And then if we occasionally, you know, get a good influencer on board who's really relevant, like I want to give like Holly Willoughby, Stacey Solomon. Parents basically buy our product. So when we gifted it to them and they posted it on their pages, that was just an absolute joke. Like I think when Holly Willoughby posted it, our website crashed. Really? Yeah. And then we sold out.
How did you arrange that? Because I've only ever had bad experiences with influencers, and I've paid them so much money and it's never worked. But so I'm still thinking about it again, how I can somehow get the product into some person's hands for free. And
so I'm really fortunate my business model is really fortunate the way it works. So we've not really it's almost happened accidentally because of our events business. We have like these event carts ice cream carts that we go to events with and make people ice cream. All we have to literally say is like, hey, do you have a party coming up where we can come make you and your kids or you and your family free ice cream? And that's how it works. And on the back of that, we bring like a DIY kit or something, and then they take it from us then and post it.
Yeah.
But it's, like for us, like,
it's very postable.
Yeah, like we're literally going there and giving them a physical experience. We're not sending a product to them. Like I'm literally turning up at someone's door with a cart, making them all ice cream for 3 hours. So like there's a massive like impression there. So for us, it's like I've got like the perfect product to do it, and we've never ever paid anyone to post anything for us. So it'll be completely free.
But you just offered them that experience. Yeah,
offer them that experience, and there's a cost to that to us, but it's the net gain you get from it is a joke. So.
Who's the biggest person you've done that for? Is it Holly Willoughby?
In terms of,
she's such a mum influencer. I've never even thought of that category of influencer.
I like Stacey Solomon, Holly Willoughby, Amanda Holden. They're all good. I mean, God, we've done some.
She called me out on Instagram 3 years ago for being a scammer with my neon signs.
Really?
So
Who?
Not me, but the brand, Amanda Holden.
Amanda Holden.
So she did not help that situation. So if I ever meet her, I'll tell her she's a cunt.
Yeah, no, mate. It was, in LA, I did a few in terms of following. I don't even know who these people were, but they had like 30 million followers. We went to their house parties in LA.
Fucking hell.
Some Brazilian girls. Yeah, no.
And did they all post?
Yeah, they all posted us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Taylor Holder, like there's a big American crowd. Yeah. Like we went all to their parties and like did all their stuff. We've been to some crazy celebrities places though. A lot of the time they take your phones off you. So when you walk in, they literally say, right, just put your phones away or take them off you and stuff. So we can't post a lot of the stuff. But like as I said, because of our product is so easy to be gifted, like can we come to your house for free and make you ice cream? Everyone always says yes.
Is that just through a DM?
Yeah, just a DM. Because we're verified, it's easier.
Because I want to start doing some weird shit with the giant mushroom.
Yeah, exactly. Just can I come and put this up in your house?
Yeah, I don't know how to frame it because it's like, can I come and fucking give samples of an illegal product?
Make your mushroom ice cream. With the mushroom.
Magic ice cream.
And then when you go, you can do what I do and bring the pack of mushroom powder as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There we go. It works.
Yeah,
it works.
It is smart doing that offline stuff because you're the opposite to me. You said you started like D2C and ecom was foreign, but everything else feels foreign to me.
Yeah.
But it's like also way more fun, I think, to actually do fucking real life shit sometimes. Like I spend so much time in the trenches on my laptop building websites and all that shit, and that's what I'm good at. But eventually,
I think this is a really interesting topic. Like when listening to people like you, other like amazingly successful people that I like, inspired to be like they always talk about scalability, numbers, financial figures, etc., etc. Like we're doing well, but for me personally, it's a merge between like doing well and also like in the enjoyment side. Like Pan and Ice for me is like something I physically enjoy. I love doing it. I've got a big team. Like the events I go to, going to the parlors and seeing a customer actually enjoy your product. There's that side of it that I absolutely love.
Yeah, fuck, I don't have any of that. Yeah. I never have. And I really would like to have that.
But that's like most people I speak to, they don't have any of that. Like I've got that merge. And yes, I'm less scalable, probably in my original business than most other people. And it's more lifestyle-y, even though I'm trying to become not lifestyle-y with it. I think I've really enjoyed having that kind of multi-aspect of the business, like the physical, the e-commerce, the international side of it. We're now looking at franchising, so that's just another project. Like there's so many different things happening within the business that cover all different aspects.
How does your day even look right now? Like, do you have an office? Is it a big team?
Mate, like constantly.
You said you were stressed the other day.
Oh yeah.
Well, aren't we all? But
we were going to do this the other day.
Had a bad day.
No, that was a bad day. We couldn't do that, mate. I was going to be.
Was the ice cream melting or what?
The ice cream was melting. Yeah, mate. I sent one here and it melted on the way. So my day's weird. So we've got an office in Notting Hill, and that's basically my core teams. That's like the marketing team, the operations team. We call that the head. That's like the head office team. So that's where I'm pretty much every day.
How many people are there?
It's about 12 of us.
Notting Hill's nice.
Yeah.
I actually considered moving there, and I moved over the road instead.
So yeah, that's where my office is. I live in Fulham, but Notting Hill, I love it there. It's where we've been. We're in a workspace, so we kind of started with a really small office, and now this is our 4th office. So we've like grown, within inside this building. But yeah, no, it's like it just kind of varies day to day. I don't really have a set plan. I just go in. I've got some goals to achieve, but then it's like I'm quite reactive, so I just kind of see what's busy, like what events have we got today. Like every day we're getting new events, like cool events. Like my sales guy, he's amazing. He's like telling me, oh, we've just got an event in America or Formula One or this. So I'm focusing on that. Then putting out fires, and then I spend a lot of my time like just new ideas. Whether it's for the e-commerce business, like launching a new ice cream machine, like looking how can we make this. The other week, well, actually, I think yesterday we just launched this, but we've just launched a brand new, we're the first to do it, I believe, in the world. It's like mixing dry ice with ice cream rolls, and we're calling it like a volcano range. And it's basically where, I'm not going to say how we do it, but anyway, like dry ice smoke comes out of the rolls. And it's just like things like that. That was my idea. I was literally I don't know where I was one day, and I just thought about this, like how can we get, because our ice rolls have obviously a hole in the middle. Like normal ice cream, like soft serve, is obviously just a lump of ice cream, so you can't get any smoke to go through it. Our ice cream, you can actually get smoke to travel through the ice cream, and it looks like a volcano. So I just thought about it in my head. I thought about how we're going to make it work, and it worked, and it's really easy to do for us. So like I'm just constantly thinking about new things. And as I said, like I have an attention span of about a week with anything, so I'll think of something and I'll be able to really smash it for about a week, and then just naturally the following after that, I'll just like my head would be in something in a completely different direction. So I have to, within that week, basically kind of start it off myself, and then get someone really good on board within my team, or hire someone new to kind of take that idea forward and actually put it into practice. I
feel like I'm the same. I'll get what I think is a genius idea, and it has about a few days of legs, and then I'll think, fuck this business. Yeah,
you think it's the best idea. Yeah, it's like it's so amazing, but then the excitement just goes, and then you're thinking about something completely different. I get it all the time, and everyone knows it in the office as well. They all just like laugh at me about it.
It's probably the same with a lot of entrepreneurs, to be honest. So the actual business model then. So when you're doing events, like what is? Obviously that's one part of the business, but that's the part I don't understand at all. So and probably most people listening don't understand because they're all fucking econ founders. What is the business model there? Like, are you renting out at a day rate to a festival, or are you literally is it just in-person retail? Like,
so the events business, it's kind of split into two sections. So we don't really do any events now where we say go to a festival, pay for a pitch and sell ice cream or sell a product. So we've kind of pulled away from that because it's very risky. Like if you go to a festival and it rains, you're fucked. We're selling ice cream or frozen desserts, whatever, it's not going to work. It's also just the profit level is just like you'll make so much money and you think you're doing so well, then you get like the week after and you actually like do a P&L of it and you realise, oh shit, we actually lost loads of money. So we kind of stopped doing that completely, and now our events businesses say we're mainly we mainly work with big blue chip companies like Amazon's, the big companies, and we do like all their catering for exhibitions. So say if you're a brand launching a new product, an exhibition, you want to like create a bit of a hype around your stand, you'll get us to come on board and we'll like produce like a stand for you with some sort of cool, we call it catertaining treat, whether it's ice cream, it could be frozen cocktails, it could be like chocolate tap, something that's like engaging and creates an audience, and we'll do that on their stand, and that's all paid up front. So we don't do any.
But is that with your brand on or no?
Sometimes with our brand, sometimes co-branded, or sometimes with their branding. We kind of are quite flexible. A lot of people want our branding on it though, especially if it's to do with ice cream rolls. They want our branding. If it's like I was going to an event doing like pizza or something like weird, like obviously we're not going to put our brand in it. But yeah, that business is very much like, it's all like prepaid. They tell us, right, we got this event, it's in this location, here are the times, what's the quote, can you do it? Yeah, and then we turn up and do it. And it's an amazing business because in terms of cash flow, you're getting paid months and months and months in advance. You know exactly what the event entails, like how much stock to bring, how many staff to bring. There is zero risk. It's in fact the opposite. The less you make, the better it is, because then you take more ingredients home and you can use it for a future event. So yeah, that's how that business does. We do a few private events, so like we do some like birthday parties, weddings, but we try focus more on the business side of things, so working with companies, because it's dealing with private clients is quite a challenging environment.
What sort of like deal size with a blue chip? Like how big are these events? Are they like 10 grand, 200
grand?
They
vary. I mean, they vary. So we've done some that are over 100k. So like when you work with like, we do like we've done MWC. We've done like, MWC is a bigger tech event in Barcelona. We do stuff at Cannes Lions. They vary normally from our normal event will be for anywhere between, say, a couple grand to like 20 grand.
Yeah.
That'd be a normal event for us, but yeah, then you get the sum of, you know, a massive events a year where they're literally like, when you're dealing with these companies, their budgets are just a joke.
Yeah.
And they know how far can you jump, basically. Like,
and is that like everything. Typically heavy summer, or is it like spread throughout the year as well?
It's really random, but it's like there's a few big events in the year that we try target. So for example, coming up soon is Cannes Lions, that's in June. That's like a big tech conference on the beach in Cannes, and like all the big blue chip companies are there trying to show off, you know, who's got the biggest, best stand. So that's like events like that we target, where they're just trying to like blow everyone out the water with their budgets and stuff. So yeah, but we do get quite a few of those every year. Like we've got that one, we've got MWC in Barcelona, we do stuff in LA, loads of stuff in Middle East, Dubai. We did something. Really? Yeah, we did something a year ago in Abu Dhabi, and it was like
some good aircon.
We've got a Guinness World Book of Records for the most amount of ice cream flavors ever made. It was 1,001 within 24 hours, handcrafted. So we did like the stuff like that, and so those events are massive, and the budgets are just unbelievable. But yeah, this dog is. All right.
Do you want me to move it? This is a record for him. He's been going for 35 minutes.
Mate, I think he must smell my dog on me or something.
He must do.
Must be the perfume I'm wearing, mate.
He's going to rip your fucking coat at this rate. Shall I get rid of him? Or is he alright?
No, he's alright, mate.
He needs to come sit over here. He's normally asleep under this all day.
He's sleeping now, but then every now and then he just... Oh yeah, he's actually bitten my coat.
Fucking hell.
Don't worry. It's
not podcast dog insurance. Honestly, he's like, he does it to everyone.
Relax.
If I was professional, I wouldn't allow him in, but...
I mean, that adds to the character of the pod.
Yeah, legit. No, he's fucked. So those sort of... Because I know nothing about this business space. Are you going out? Are they coming to you, or are you hard pitching to them? Like, you mentioned the sales guy. Like...
So yeah, I mean, we probably... what's the split? I'd say my current sales guy is pretty amazing, I'm not going to lie. So before him, I would say the split was 95% inbound, where clients are coming to us. 5%, if we're on a good day, would be outbound, where someone's actually gone out and got new business, which is testament to our brand. Like, mainly it's people coming in. Now we've scaled up a lot with our new sales guy. So now I would say it's more like, 75-25. 75% inbound, 25% outbound. But now we're just looking to scale that. But yeah, it's mainly companies coming to us. We kind of like, once you do an event for someone and do a good job, they then tell all their friends or their colleagues, and then before you know it, you've got like a massive influx of people coming to you saying, can you do my event too? So that's the way it works in that industry. Literally, it's all about word of mouth.
You found like word of mouth has compounded because you're like 8 years old.
Yeah, completely.
I've never done anything for more than like 2 years.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I really need to double down.
Pan and Ice is all I've ever known. I've not done anything else.
That's crazy.
But obviously, as I said, it's like I've not kept with one business model. The business models are so different. There's different branding. They're completely different customer demographics. Like my e-commerce business is for parents/kids. My shops are for like kids. Then my events business is completely corporate focused. So the branding's all different as well. It's called P&I events, not Pan and Ice, because so like I've kept it like, because it's been a long time. So I'm trying to always do new things. And obviously the franchising thing now.
Yes, the shops. We didn't come on to that.
The shops.
When did that start? How does that compare to D2C and the events?
So the shops for us is our brand piece. It's where we can physically display our brand. It's like our tangible asset to the business. It's, as anyone knows watching this, making money from retail shops at the moment is extremely hard. Like, you feel like everything is against you. Minimum wages, like, I used to work at, when I was young, for like £4 an hour. Yeah. You now have to pay like £11 an hour.
Really?
For that same like person.
Is that high?
Yeah, it's that high. And obviously, because we're such a physical process, like, each of our machines requires someone behind it making ice cream. So our labour costs so high. You then got like your business rates. So in terms of like profit, like, they make profit, but it's very hard to make, sustainable profit from them. So we look at that as, we want to grow that side of the business massively. Like, we want to keep growing that, because what we've noticed is the more of those we do, we can spread our head office costs, which makes them more profitable each, but also, like, we get way more events. Our e-commerce business will definitely improve from it, because more people are seeing the brand and going, how can I do this at home? So yeah, I mean, so it's a hard part of the business as well, because it's so staff heavy, and you're dealing with people that you're paying 0-hour contracts workers. They don't turn up on time. They steal money sometimes.
Is that considered like a specific skill set to do the actual pan and ice part?
No, I mean, it's...
Or do you just hire anyone and teach them on the job?
Yeah. So ideally, we try to hire people that are like, I've got a bit about them, but like, good with customers. Basically, we try to hire people that like outgoing performers, like to chat, high energy people. It's much easier said than done. And then the training part of the actual product doesn't take that long. It takes like a few days and they've got it, basically. But yeah, the hardest part is definitely like finding the people that kind of resonate with your brand, and like, because it's actually irrelevant like how good we are in the office, like showcasing the brand. It's the people that actually work with the customers day to day. They're the ones that are representing our brand.
Where do you find them? Is it like agencies, or do you actually like directly hire them?
No, agencies are too expensive for that role. So yeah, it's like directly hiring. A lot of people want to work at our parlors. So like through social media, like our social media, we kind of do everything through that. So like, guys, we've got some available slots at our Westfield parlour. Who wants to work there? Yeah. It's again though, it's like it's not like you're going to a Mr. Whipping machine and pulling a lever and ice cream comes out. It's like a physical job. Like you're burning a lot of calories, and it's hard work. That makes it a lot harder to retain staff. So it's quite high burn rate. We're trying to find ways to improve that, looking after the team as much as we can, etc. But it's a hard part of the business. Put it this, I wouldn't recommend it.
How many shops do you have?
At the moment, we've got 4. We're opening our 5th in 2 weeks in Argyle Street.
And they're all London based?
No, so we're in both Westfields. We're about to open in Argyle Street by Oxford Circus, and then we've got one in Manchester Selfridges and one in Manchester Arndale. And then what we do is in summer we do loads of pop-ups. So hopefully this summer you'll see us, loads of like just summer locations like Bicester Village.
So you humping your leg?
Oh my God, mate. He absolutely loves me.
Sorry, this is the
Georgie,
most...
you better watch out.
This is the most intense he's ever been for a guest. Yeah, I think it's like the mix of new flat. He didn't know what the fuck's going on.
Okay, what's wrong, mate? Talk to me.
Different position. He's not used to this. Normally he's over here. Well, you would be in the old place. And he's literally humping your leg on camera. Right. Well, that's unique.
Are you going to keep that in?
Probably.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Never edit anything. I just got an editor that puts some fucking clips together and that's about it.
Really? You're going to leave it like this?
Well, I'll probably chop out these bits, but he's been rude. He's not even fallen asleep yet. I actually really want an ice cream now. Have you got any? In your car or something?
No. It doesn't travel, mate.
Yeah, do you do them on like Gorillas and not Gorillas?
Yeah, we do them on Deliveroo, but you would like...
So I could order one tonight? Is it available?
No, but you're not near enough to Westfield.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Is it limited because of the travelability?
Yeah, you need to come to my office with some space goods, and we can actually make one there. Do some
that's a good
product
idea.
testing.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good. I honestly think it would taste so nice as well, because like chocolatey flavour. So
have you tried Rainbow Dust?
No, I haven't.
I'll give you a bag. I've got a spare one here.
I need to.
It's good shit. It actually is.
Is it? Yeah. I need to. I mean, I love caffeine. Like I love Yeah, I like drink like Noccos every morning or something like that. Shit. So I'm interested. I was actually, I was looking into the whole mushroom stuff, on how that all works. So I'm intrigued to see it. Hopefully I don't get too hooked on it. Would you say it's addictive?
I mean, I have my product twice a day.
Yeah, you do. I was going to say, do you have it every day?
I also have the nighttime one now, so I have that at night. Okay. But I'm definitely more a fan of the Rainbow Dust, which is like the hero product.
Okay.
Because it's kind of mad, really. You just come up with a fucking product in your living room, and then people buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the alchemy of entrepreneurship.
That's a weird concept. You literally created something from thin air.
Yeah, especially when it's so weird. Because I just thought, I just made it for me, and I was like, the mushroom space is coming next, I think.
Yeah.
And it worked.
I think you're right.
And now people send me messages saying it's like changed their life and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, really? Okay.
Well, mate, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, for context for anyone watching, we're going to try and do a collab. You've agreed to it now publicly.
Yeah. Well, no, at the festivals, obviously, I think it could go down well.
Bring the 5 meter mushroom.
But yeah.
Which is over there in a box right now.
That'd be unreal. I can really imagine what the, it's going to look cool.
What the fuck is this? Space Goods, spacegoods.com, Rainbow Dust version 1, my newest entrepreneurial ecom brand venture. I spent 6 months in the trenches building this shit from scratch. We launched 6 weeks ago. What's it all about? The next generation wellness brand with a long-term vision to essentially consumerize the pending psychedelic consumer goods market, which might sound absolutely ridiculous. We're not quite there yet. The market's massively illegal. But what is this? Rainbow Dust version 1 is an all-in-one mushroom and adaptogenic blend designed to unlock your supernatural self. Essentially, experience a sharper focus, sustained energy, zen-like calm throughout the day. It's an all-in-one powder, tastes like fucking hot chocolate, tastes delicious, works great, looks great, feels amazing. Essentially, the broader concept here was to legally imitate a psychedelic microdose and, like I said, experience those symptoms. You can mix it with anything, brownies, bake brownies with it, mix it with your coffee, have it without coffee, replace your coffee, put it into a protein shake. It's super fucking versatile, it tastes great, it replaced the stack of supplements I was previously taking, but you need to try this shit. It would definitely change the way you work, get you into that deep workflow. I obviously think that myself. Plenty of 1,000+ first customers think the exact same shit. It's not just a pretty packaging, it actually works really fucking well. Keto, vegan, all that good shit. Trust me, you need to try it for yourself. Let's scale this shit to the moon. Spacegoods.com. Get on your Rainbow Dust subscription and see how you fucking feel. Let's do it for the boys. Spacegoods.com. What was I saying? Shops before you fucking interrupted me.
Yeah. It's a interesting business model. I wouldn't recommend that part for anyone. Like, don't start a Rainbow Dust.
If you had to just stick with one of the 3 parts and just sack the other 2, which one would you stick with and why?
That's actually that's an interesting question. It's very hard because if you asked me this last week, it would be a different answer. But I'd probably stick with the events business. That's such a hard question because, as I said, it just completely changes when you ask me which one's doing the best in the current time. But the events business for me, I love the way it changes all the time. It's not bound to one product. It's like there's like open endless opportunities of different things we can do. Obviously, there's the whole world. Like, it literally makes me travel. Yeah. More than any other part of the business. And yeah, it's very fun. Like, you're dealing with more money as well. Like, it's a really nice business. But I mean, yeah, as I said, if you asked me that a couple of weeks ago, maybe I would have given you a different answer. The e-commerce business is also super exciting because it's the scalability of that, which I've not experienced. Like, scalability for me has been so hard. Like, it's literally been such a challenge. It's not something I can just turn a few cogs and suddenly we scale. It's been like physically having to do things physically having to hire staff, like train people, like open stores. Like we've recently had an absolute fuck up with something in one of our stores where we basically now got to get a brand new kiosk made, and like dealing with all of that stuff, like all this stuff that makes it really challenging. But yeah, the events business is so much fun. A lot of fun.
But you think D2C and e-com is more scalable?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because of the hard work I've put in making the brand what it is today, with this amazing following. Like, yeah, we are very well known within the ice cream world now. Like, if you ask most families, do you know Pan and Ice? Pretty sure they'll say yes. So we've been going for 8 years. We've got such a good brand. So that's now been the first time we can proper pivot that following, which is all around the UK and other parts of the world, into a product to let people buy it. So that's the part I'm really excited, and that's the part, that will take me out of this lifestyle business cycle that I'm probably a bit stuck in.
Do you want to get out of that though? Because
I want a part of it.
I often think I should try and enjoy the process more.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm so obsessed with this idea of trying to reach X valuation or X revenue and
so
by X age.
I've never thought of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never really thought about the opposite. I mean,
I've never thought about what I want. I never thought about exiting. People say, do you want to sell it? I'm like, no, because and people always tell you this, like, you need to enjoy the journey more. Like, and I have watched so many of these things, and I've really started to appreciate that. And like, I'm 28 now. Like, before I was probably more focused on like, I want to get rich, like drive nice cars. Like, yeah, that's nice, but I can also guarantee you if I got a nice car, I'd get bored of it within a week and want something better. So I've become quite happy with, I love the process. I go to work every day, like literally loving it. I don't think about he's doing more numbers than me. Like, I think about, this is sick what we're doing, we're working with the sickest people. I have targets in my head, but not like, I want to sell for this, like I want it to become a nice business where I can have a nice lifestyle from it. But I want both parts. I want kind of like the e-commerce business to be the scalability part of it and drive that forward and make that scale, make the money come in. But I also want to keep these other parts because they're so enjoyable. Like, as I said, when you do an event, when you go to a parlor and you see someone enjoying your product, it's that you can't put a price on that. It's honestly the best feeling.
Yeah. I need to think more about that. I definitely would like to.
Yeah. Well, but we're entrepreneurs. We always want what we don't have.
Well, yeah, probably.
So if you were like in my shoes, you'd be like, oh, for God's sake.
Because everyone I know is primarily D2C. I've always known like e-com guys, and it's so online that you almost fucking become a recluse.
Yeah.
Like, I feel weird when I go to even when I go to a co-work space because there's other people there.
Yeah.
Even though like, wherever I spent years being a nomad, living in Bali and all that shit, but like when I'm in the UK or London in an office scenario, I feel so weird because I'm like, oh, these people like work with each other and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas my team's always been fully remote, and I'm intentionally changing that now.
Well, I think for your business you can do that. I mean, for me, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I have to go work in my office. If I go try work on my own, unless I'm like super amped up on a shitload of caffeine, nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to procrastinate. Like, I love going to my office and working with my team. Like, it's very hands-on.
Yeah.
And it's very like impulsive. Like, we're just shouting things across the room. Like, that's all I've ever been used to. We had an office from pretty much day one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I found it really, that's the other thing I found hard over lockdown was like, no one being there, it was just being me. Like, that was a weird concept. Yeah, here we go. All right.
He's back. And the team post-COVID then, was that a completely new team as pre-COVID, or did you just bring everyone back?
Because
that must have been a mad contrast. Because when COVID happened, it was the first time I felt like everyone else, for me it was normal. Yeah. For me and all my mates, because we'd always just worked remotely and shit.
That's
so it
crazy.
was like, oh, everyone else is doing it for the first time.
Yeah, God, no. So, it's horrible. I mean, a lot of people, obviously, I think, naturally were expecting it. They were like, they knew our business was physical and our business was completely just gone. Like, all our events were we had so many events planned, and then they suddenly just all got cancelled within like a week, completely to zero. So I think obviously that whole team that were bound to that realised if there's nothing coming in, how are we going to get paid? So they were kind of expecting it. So they were all it was all the furlough scheme, wasn't it? So it was all into the furlough scheme. But before that wasn't announced, actually, I now remember we didn't know what the furlough scheme was at that point. So I had to get rid of some people just because I had no idea what was coming up. So I had to protect the business. There were a few people that stayed on after COVID. But yeah, like my social media manager, I think there was a couple others as well. My finance guy, maybe a couple others. But then, in a way, me separated from my ex-business partner, then COVID happening was a good thing because it meant that it was a whole brand new start after COVID with a brand new team. Whereas if I kept that other team, I think there would have been like I wanted it to be a new start, my own team, my own thought process. There's no confusion with them knowing about that history, etc. So I think it was a blessing in disguise, COVID happening in a way. So it was literally now I've got a brand new team. The way they manage is all so different. The way I manage my team is so different. Like it's the best it's ever been. I'm a lot more like hands off, like in letting people just work and doing things. Whereas before we were like so heavily involved in absolutely everything. We would turn up at one of our shops, and if anything was wrong, we'd like kick off. We had these like ridiculous expectations in our minds, so it was like really intense. Then we separated, and then COVID happened, and then it's completely changed. Like you enjoy it so much more as well if you haven't got these ridiculous expectations of perfection when it's not ever going to be perfect because it's not you doing it, or it's way more enjoyable.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you run the whole business in terms, or do you have like an MD or someone senior and you just do the ideas?
How
does it sound?
I'm still very heavily involved. I've got like a marketing director who's amazing. I've got a senior events manager and an events manager who kind of run the events business. I still am probably quite heavily involved. I am, as of now, wanting to start looking for like some senior people to help me run the business, whether that be an MD, so I can kind of just properly step back a bit. Because I have been doing it for a long time, and it does get to the point where there's only so many times I can do this thing, like, or say this thing, like get involved in that. Like tomorrow I love it, but I'm going to do like some events, really small events, because we've got staffing issues, and I love it, but I need to also realise I need someone. I shouldn't be doing that, and I think that's my own issue, that I've not built at the stage where I'm still having to get involved. So I'm looking for someone now to, like an MD or I don't know, something like that, to come in and kind of help me build the business a bit in a different way. Yeah, I want a fresh pair of eyes because I'm doing it for so long. It's hard. You get stuck in this rut. So yeah, that's my next step. I think finding CEO, someone like that. I think you've just hired someone. And let me step back.
That was largely because I realised that if I didn't eventually do that, I'd be stuck staring at a fucking laptop in 5 years' time. Even if I was doing 100 mil rev, I'd still be sat in my fucking bedroom. So I brought him in because I was like, we need to set this up differently.
That's what I need to do.
It was like chicken or egg though, because I thought it was premature, but I decided...
I'm shit at managing people as well.
Yeah, same.
Like
I'm
really
way too
badly.
informal, and I don't...
exactly.
There's so many stories of that, but
it's way too, like, I go into the office, like,
I'm like
we
a
have
mate
fun,
with everyone.
but I don't have like follow-up meetings, like review meetings, like what's your progression at, like...
Exactly.
And, like, I am so busy that I want
I'm so anti-corporate, it's actually bad.
Yeah. It's just
it becomes a point where it doesn't actually work.
Yeah. But that it's also, you realise that's really important. Like people that work for you actually need that stuff. And I've admitted I cannot do it. It's just not me. I'll try it for a week. Let's have a weekly catch-up meeting, and it's so unnatural for me. I kind of feel awkward in them and don't know what to say. So I need someone who come in and like who's like amazing and managing people. I also want someone who's amazing at like getting me into places like John Lewis to sell my kits. Like I've never done that before. So someone who's like, experienced in that side of it. And then I can kind of take a backward step and be like purely creative, new business ideas, dip my toe into different areas without having to run the actual business anymore. That's the plan.
It's literally how I think.
But obviously that's in the dream scenario. I doubt that's going to happen first. The first person I find.
Yeah, very true. There's always going to be like a handover period. You're always going to be more involved than you probably think. Yeah. With everything. So I always try and outsource things, but then delegate, and I'm still fucking...
Yeah, we said this earlier, like...
looking at everything.
Yeah.
And are you the only shareholder now? Or is you have investors? Or how's that set up?
Yeah, so... brought my ex-business partner out. I was then 100%. My brother has kind of been involved right from the start, Pan and I. So I'm very much a doer, practical guy, creative. He's extremely financially literate. Like he went to PwC, like so intelligent. That is the opposite of me. I'm not book smart at all. So he kind of from the start of Pan and Ice was always helping us. So I gave him, he's got like 9%. I've got like, I think like 80 something %. And then we've got like a share option pool for some of my staff. Just try to keep them motivated, try to give them a piece of the pie as it grows. But yeah.
So do you have plans to raise money and sell it then, if that's all there, or is that just?
We have, as I said, that's more from my brother's side. We have got visions of selling it eventually, but it constantly changes that vision when new products come out and when new business ideas happen. But I think it would be foolish of me to say I'll probably never sell. I probably would eventually like to do something new, potentially.
Have you ever had businesses or other brands come to you?
Yeah, in COVID, we tried to get shafted quite a bit. I think people used it as an advantage time. They they're going to be struggling, let's try and buy them out. They're probably in desperate need. So I had a few very interesting time-wasting conversations with people.
Just too low or what? Not tempting?
Yeah, just too low, where they're trying to like completely scaremonger you, like say you need to do this, like you're fucked if you don't do this, like trying to take complete advantage of the situation, knowing I'm quite young. But yeah, it was just completely too low and it just wasn't entertaining. I was thinking to myself, like, if I sold this, it was good money, but I thought, if I sold this, like what am I actually going to do? Like, I literally thought to myself, what would I actually do? Like, all I've ever known is Pan and Ice. Like, I could probably start something else, but do I want to do that right now? No. So I just wasn't interested.
But you mentioned like stepping back from the business. Is that just so you can look at the business a different way? Is that so you can start something else?
It's so the business can scale. I'm interested to see when someone else runs the business, without me being so heavily involved, how that will affect its performance and how it will scale differently and work. That's what I'm actually really intrigued to see. Have I become the own bottleneck of my own business?
Probably.
I potentially have, without realising. So that's one of the things I'm really interested to see, like bringing something amazing in, what are they going to do? Because I think there's so much opportunity here. I've been doing it for 8 years. Like, why isn't it at the level it could be? So that could be a big reason. So that's one of I'm just really intrigued. And yeah, it gives me time to like step back. I've been working so hard on this thing for 8 years, like physically and mentally. So I just want to like take a step back, let someone else like run it a bit, and like me just do that, the fun stuff, like what I love doing. Just literally just do that, and then potentially that might lead to give me time to do something different. I don't know, who knows.
Have you ever had any serious ideas for the next thing, or has it always been within the realm?
I get ideas all the time. Like I actually generally think they're really good ideas as well. Like, I always think of like tech ideas. I think tech for me, like I've realised how much tech helps my business, or like how much I love tech. Like that's something that solves an issue for me. So I'm always thinking, and I just because I've dealt with dealing with so many staff, I'm always thinking of my future business will probably be something where I can scale it to massive amounts with a very small team. Yeah. Because it's something so different to me. So yeah, I think I have some amazing ideas, and I'll probably keep thinking of some, but definitely I'm nowhere near in a position to do them right now.
I always wish I was like romantically someone that had one business I started when I was 16, and that's the thing I ran till I was 70. But I've already had like 5 or 6 businesses.
Yeah. I think it's like frowned upon though to do that. Like I feel like I'm a complete anomaly. Like I feel like almost guilty saying I've done it for 8 years. I'm still going to events and stuff.
No, but I mean I've had loads of things because I've not stuck with them long enough to really fucking get the fruits of them.
Well, you smashed,
That's just the way my fucking brain works and whatever. But I'm trying. I now want to focus on something for like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I look at people like Ben and Jerry's and stuff like that, like Hagen. I was like, these companies went for absolute ages and then got bought out by a massive company. Like they went for absolutely ages. So that's like, I don't see why we couldn't be someone like that. Yeah. We are an ice cream company. Everyone in the world loves ice cream. Yeah. So there's no reason why it can eventually become something like that. Like we've never done a product in a pot and stocked it on shelves. So that's obviously something we could potentially do. I've never even thought of that. But I've thought of it, but I've never even like put it into practice. But there was so many more opportunities for us to do with this amazing brand we've got.
So do you think you do want to take it beyond lifestyle business, which you've maybe looked at? Like, do you ever have visions of this could be £1 billion ice cream brand? Or is that just like...
Yeah, I just think... I'd love to say it is, but I think it's just so easy for people to say that. Like, it's going to be £1 billion company. Like, I am someone who wants the actions to speak rather than say it. Like, I don't... Like, me saying that and then me falling so short of it is just going to set me up for failure. So I don't even think... I try not to think about that too much in my head because I'm literally setting myself up for failure. And I then won't be satisfied until I make a stupid number. So I try not, which That's when we were starting out, we used to go, oh my god, we're gonna be so rich, like we're gonna literally have a paradise theme park and like be retired by the age of 27, and you realise that's not quite the way it all works out. So, but yeah. I think it could be very scalable and massive. I think it could be, but we've still got a long way to go. There's a lot of things happening. Like, I want someone new to come in, and I want to work on this e-commerce business. I think the e-commerce business is the changing point. But yeah, still like a long way to go.
Mushroom ice cream D2C.
Yeah.
How does the ice cream D2C though? Like, just technically, how does that even work? Are you actually selling ice cream? Or are you just selling the kits?
No, so it's just the kit. So it's so we sell this plate, and then we sell the plate with our ice cream mix. And this plate you last forever. You just put it in your freezer whenever you want to make ice cream, and you bring it out and you pour our ice cream mix on, which is like this cream. It's like a sweetened cream. Yeah. Same one you get at Westfields, whatever, and you pour it on the plate. You add in like strawberries or whatever you got in your fridge or cupboard, cookies, whatever, and you make ice cream. And then when you run out, you can buy more. So the idea is it's a recurring revenue, so people keep buying the ice cream, and we also sell all like the kits with all like the chocolate in them and all like the recipe guides, etc. So there is like a lifelong cycle there, or what do you call it? Lifetime value. Yeah, these are all needs to be made.
That's all I fucking speak about.
Yeah, which obviously is really important. So yeah, that's the way that works. And as I said, we've got that model, and then we've also got an electric one, which is like way more expensive. But yeah, that's the idea of that model, and it works honestly so well. It's so easy. It just comes from China, sent to a 3PL or Amazon, and just gets shipped out, and it's beautiful. Unless it gets damaged in transit, which happens a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, it's fucked. Do you think you have like work-life balance as an entrepreneur? Are you bothered about that? And do you think you have it?
No, I am really bothered about it. No, I don't, unfortunately. It's like I've got better at doing less work and spending more time maybe at home with my girlfriend or family. But what I have definitely pushed aside is a lot of friends, like going out with my mates, not drinking, having fun, like the social aspect of my life. I feel I've still, got friends, but I definitely don't do that nearly as much as I used to and should be doing. I just think all of my attention goes into my business, my physical energy, and then by the end of that, I don't want to have to put up this effort to make conversation with small talk with people and stuff. Like I find it really hard. Like I really struggle to have conversations with people outside of work about random stuff. Like it just
That's why all my mates are entrepreneurs. I don't know about you. Well, not all of them, but nearly all of them.
Yeah.
Just circumstantially.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. When I'm speaking to someone about business, I'm so confident and so I find it easy and I find it natural. But now when I speak to people about it, they go, hey, how are you? Or I'm just like, what? Why are you even asking me that? I'm fine, how are you? I don't know, I just the small talk, the normal, that side of my life has definitely taken a bit of a battering. But yeah, just going out to your mates and have a chill drink, and talking about life, I don't do that.
Yeah, neither do I really.
Yeah. So
unless we're talking about some fucking mad idea.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's, you've got having your circle. I said a lot of the people I've grown up with, some of them have been, but I don't have that entrepreneurial circle where all my mates doing the same thing as me. I'm very different. Or a lot of my mates doing something online or something. My business is just so different from whatever anyone I know is doing. So it is, it's quite lonely in a way. You don't really resonate with many people.
Yeah, defo. I also I find it unusual, well, not unusual, but a lot of entrepreneurs I meet struggle with relationships and shit.
Yeah.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
So
you're gonna tell me you met her on Hinge now?
No. So we were actually really good mates. So we used to
Does she work at an ice cream event?
Yeah. So I'm from Henley. I
used to row at Henley. Well,
really?
I was big into rowing for about 10 years.
Okay, so I went to Shiplake College.
Oh yeah, big rowing school.
Yeah, big massive rowing school. No, I hated rowing, mate. God.
I quit when I was 19.
Where did you go?
I was up in York, but
okay.
I was national champion twice.
Real.
Beat all the
did you go to regatta then? Henry Regatta? Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah, so I've never watched a rowing there. Go to Mahiki and that's about it.
Yeah, Mahiki's good.
Yes, we were like best mates for ages. Like she went to a school near mine. Like everyone knows everyone. And then we were. I think that's the good thing. We were really good mates. Like on a literally just a friendship level. So I got on well with her just as a person. And then it kind of changed into a relationship, and I've been with her now for ages, and it works really well. She's like super chilled, very understanding. She's also super career driven. So like during the day she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. She knows like she's been through so much with me, with the business, the ups and downs. So she's like, it's kind of leveled out now. It was hard back like earlier days. But I think we've gone past that now. And like honestly, having someone like her actually really helps. So when you're having a really shit day, like having someone like that you can properly open up to, or like give you honest feedback about what's generally the right thing to do for you, really helps.
I just talk to my dog and get no reply.
So the dog's asleep on you, mate.
Yeah, we finally got there. It only took him like 70 minutes.
And like half on you and half off.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Unreal. Do you sleep in your bed?
Nah. Well, like once a week. Although I woke up with a massive scratch on my nose, and where the fuck that came from. It wasn't in my bed, so something's going on there. I don't know if anyone can see that, but yeah, I've always had this debate, like people tell me girls are a distraction and shit, and I'm like, but this comes back to the toxic entrepreneurship phase I've been in for a while.
So
I go in and out of it.
You've struggled with relationships?
I've only ever had one, and but I fall in love with girls, or I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
It's really problematic.
Okay.
Because I only like girls that don't like me, and if they like me, I don't like them. It's just I'm very weird like that.
And I'm
a hopeless romantic. I don't want something to be like healthy. I want it to be either toxic and dramatic. But I'm not interested.
That's the same as you in your business life. It sounds like as well. You always want things not to be the way they are, or it's interesting that. Maybe you just haven't found the one, mate.
I haven't been looking for it. I'm just trying to scale.
Yeah.
But it's probably really unhealthy.
I think, because having a relationship now, as like going through that early stage of relationship now, like learning about each other, I would hate that. Like I couldn't do that. Like that, I can agree that would be so hard. Like someone learning about how fucked up you are, like as me as a person, like with my business, and like how that's my priority, and sadly not you. Like in the early stages, that would be really hard to get that message across.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that was the issue with my ex-girlfriend.
Is way more important than you.
Yeah, legit. This is the thing though, I always have this weird view that like, I'm just going to wait until I'm really rich and then I'll meet someone. Yeah. Then I'll think about it, because until then I'm not bothered. Yeah,
that's the way I think about kids. That's very
stupid. Yeah, definitely with kids, but I think about that whole section of my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll wait till I sell the business for 500 million quid.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a life. Although I do have a life now.
Yeah.
And lots of people would say I still have a great social life and shit, but in my head, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just all I really think about is
I completely get where you're coming from. I mean, it's probably not the healthiest way to look at it.
Definitely not.
Because does that continue? Like, does that ever come to an end, that thought process? Like when you get there, does it then happen, will let me get to 1 billion? Like that can easily start to happen. It can scale out of control, and before you know it, you've got no one.
I mean, I definitely...
What does Steve Jobs say? Like he's on his deathbed, that quote, like that just resonates with me a lot. Like, don't wait until it's too late. Basically.
Wow.
That's quite deep.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I do think this generation's fucked though.
Oh, mate.
Because of social media. It's made the ability to scale a business great, but it's made like everyone is replaceable.
Yeah, I think we're in one of the most fucked up times ever.
It's actually mad. I think that I read about this shit, and like birth rates are going down and shit.
Yeah.
For the first time ever or whatever. And it's the first generation who's grown up on social media, basically.
I know. It's just weird.
And it's changed like actual interpersonal dynamics. And then there was a fucking pandemic when no one saw each other for 2 years.
Yeah, and it's made
and then people got like OnlyFans became a thing. And now like the Andrew Tate era became a thing.
Yeah.
And now there's 5 million genders, and no one's allowed to say anything that isn't really safe for everyone.
Yeah, I'm even scared to say anything on this podcast, mate.
Yeah, legit.
It's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's all just, I think it's just honestly one of the weirdest times to be alive. Like there's just so much happening that's just not good for you. I like it.
I don't know what the answer is. Just
I try basically not involve myself too much with things I can't control. So I just kind of, when people get all like hyped up about conversation about politics or like that gender stuff, whatever, I just kind of go with the flow. My energy all goes into my business really. So anything else is just like very much, I'm just flowing through it. I don't try like hype up too much or like cast an opinion on something that I'm not fully educated on. But yeah, I don't really know what the answer is, mate. I just keep on going. There's not much you can do.
Yeah. I always pivot the pod towards some weird fucking philosophical viewpoint.
Yeah, that's good. It's
cool. All right, final question, because I could go on forever. And I ask everyone this, it's become a tradition. If you give 3 bits of advice to your 18-year-old self upon reflection, I guess for you that's 10 years, which is a nice round number.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Oh my word. Don't go to university.
Yeah, I agree.
Be very like, choose your friends wisely and who you hang around with, because it's so true. You can easily become like the law of averages or whatever. You become like that, like deciding who you hang around with at younger, early stages completely changes, I feel like, who you become. That's really key. Like, choose your friends wisely, and jump into it. Don't think about overthink. Like, people that have always good business ideas go, Henry, I've got this amazing business idea. And they're young, like 18-year-olds. Like, they always think about it too much and wait for that perfect opportunity. Like, don't do that. Be naive, accept you're naive, and realize being naive is really fucking good, and just do it. Because even if you fail and fuck it up, you would have learned more of that failure than you probably will learn in the whole time of going to university. So accept you're naive and just do it.
Very true.
Yeah, honestly, being naive. If I wasn't naive, Paradise would definitely not be a thing at all. Because if I was to go back now, I would never ever start this business ever again.
I feel like I only kind of know what the fuck I'm doing in about the past 6 months, and I've been doing this stuff like 6 years.
Yeah.
But I'll probably feel the same in 10 years time.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
On that bombshell, been a pleasure.
Thank you, mate.
The first ice cream entrepreneur. I'm definitely going to fucking try some.
Yeah.
Try and make this mushroom collab happen.
100%.
As always, subscribe to the pod. It's been very weird doing it in this flat. I feel like it's like a different fucking planet or something, because I'm so used to the old cozy setup. But yeah, we'll probably move it back here instead of the main studio. I don't know. It depends what the situation is with my contract with that studio, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. As always, catch you in the next one. Peace.